Every year, divers are injured or worse, not because of sharks, equipment failures, or dramatic underwater emergencies. Most diving accidents happen because basic safety principles are ignored. The good news? Most diving accidents are preventable. Welcome to Valkyrie Divers. My name is Gerard, and today we're covering the essential basics of diving safely, the habits that every diver should follow on every dive. Whether you're newly qualified or have hundreds of dives, these fundamentals can help keep you safe underwater. Safe diving starts long before you enter the water. Many problems underwater begin because of poor preparation on the surface. Always plan your dive carefully. Know the site. Make sure you've had a good, proper dive briefing, explaining the approximate dive routing, how deep you expect to be going. Are you exiting at the same point that you entered? Are there any dangers, key things to look out for? Know the conditions. Is there a current? How strong is it and in which direction? Is the current expected to change during the dive? And what to expect at the exit point? Know your limits. Raise any concerns that you may have with your dive leader. Make sure that your dive buddy also knows the plan and how you will keep closely coordinated. And make sure your equipment is working properly before entering the water. One of the biggest mistakes divers make is attempting dives beyond their experience level. If you're certified to 18 meters, don't suddenly attempt a deep technical dive. If you've never dived in strong currents, get training before trying it. Diving should always be a gradual process of learning skills and experience. The ocean will still be there tomorrow. Just because you're certified to do something doesn't mean you're ready to do it today. Your limits are affected by a number of things. These include fatigue, illness, stress, poor visibility, strong currents, long periods without diving. A smart diver knows when to say, "Not today." If your buddy is opting out of the dive because he or she doesn't feel up to it, don't pressure them to do the dive just because you want to. Find another dive buddy and let your dive buddy go with their feeling. As they say of sailors, there are old sailors, there are bold sailors, but there are no old, bold sailors. The same could be said of divers. Keep within your limits. The buddy system remains one of the most important safety tools in recreational diving. Your buddy provides a second set of eyes, assistance if problems occur, help in navigation, help in emergencies. Understand your buddy's experience level, their certification and experience. You will both need to stay within the limit of the least certified or least experienced diver. Talk before the dive and discuss positioning. Is one of you taking photographs? If so, the other should be aware and expect to have to stop during the dive whilst their buddy takes photographs. Maybe help by spotting good things for their buddy to take photos of. So make sure you and your buddy know what you're doing underwater. This includes knowing what hand signals you're going to use. There's no point in one of you making a hand signal and the other one looking blankly as you've no idea what they are talking about. Stay close to each other so you can help, but not too close because you don't want to collide. Many diving problems can be prevented with a proper pre-dive buddy check. So with your buddy, verify BCD, inflation and deflation, a good way to see if your buddy's tank is open and if the LPI hose is properly connected. Weights. How much and where, and how do they quick release? Releases. Check that they're all fastened properly, especially the tank strap. Air supply, regulators, primary and alternate. Are they working okay? Is there sufficient gas for the dive? And final equipment check. Fins, masks, computer compass if they're taking them, and is everything secure? During these checks, you can ensure that you know where your buddy's alternate air is located and make sure it works properly. You may depend on it. Also, you don't want to be jumping in without something important, and you don't want your buddy doing so either. Otherwise, it's going to affect your dive. So a 2-minute buddy check can prevent a dive ending problem. Running out of gas should never be a surprise. Check your SPG frequently throughout the dive. With experience, you should be able to estimate what is in your tank before you even look at your SPG, but still look just to confirm you're right. You should always be able to estimate how much longer your gas will last if you use it at the rate you have been so far. Don't wait until your tank is nearly empty before informing your dive lead and dive buddy or beginning your ascent. Check how much gas your dive buddy has. If he gets low, you may end up having to share yours with him. If he's consistently got more gas than you, that's good. It means you're less likely to have to share your gas with him. Remember, don't let your SPG go into that red zone, 50 bar or 500 PSI if you're using that system. I always tell divers that the last 50 bar is not your gas. It's your buddy's gas, in case he needs it because he's running out of air when you're doing your 3-minute safety stop. Agree with your buddy before the dive when, as in time and gas, you'll turn the dive and when you'll surface. Make sure you have a dive computer and know how to use it. Modern dive computers provide critical safety information. Always monitor your depth, your dive time, your No Decompression Limit or NDL, your ascent rate. Watch my video on the most common NDL mistakes that divers make. Never ignore computer warnings. Your dive computer is one of your most important safety tools. Control your buoyancy. Good buoyancy isn't just about looking skilled. It's a major safety skill. Good buoyancy helps you reduce air consumption, avoid accidental ascents, avoid accidental descents, protect marine life and reduce fatigue. Make sure you're properly weighted when you get into the water. Practice buoyancy on every dive. Your buoyancy is key to having a calm and safe dive. Many diving injuries occur during ascent. Never rush to the surface. Ascend slowly and under control. Most training agencies recommend ascending no faster than your computer indicates. And most computers are set to no more than 9 meters a minute. Remember, you can ascend slower than this, and there's no minimum speed. Always monitor your ascent rate. Check your dive computer. Most have a green, amber, and red zone, so you can tell if you're ascending too fast. One simple rule of thumb is to never ascend faster than your slowest bubble. It's also worth remembering that the pressure gradient is the greater the shallower you are, which means the last 5 meters after your safety stop should be a very slow ascent. Many divers rush this part. Don't. At the end of most recreational dives, make a safety stop. Most dive computers are set to trigger a safety stop if your dive descends below 10 meters. Typically, a safety stop is 3 minutes at 5 meters. Some places, such as the Maldives, have regulations requiring 5-minute safety stops, an even safer safety stop. A safety stop provides an additional margin of safety and allows your body more time to eliminate dissolved nitrogen. Think of it as cheap insurance. Stay hydrated and fit to dive. Your physical condition affects your diving safety. Avoid diving if you're sick, dehydrated, overly tired, or under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Drink plenty of water, particularly if you're diving in warmer climates, and get adequate rest. Be honest about how you're feeling before the dive. It is better to abort a dive if you're not feeling 100% than to dive and put yourself, your buddy, and the rest of the dive team at risk. And they are also at risk if you start to have a dive problem. Remember, prevention is better than cure. Depending on the dive environment, you should always carry appropriate safety equipment. This should include a DSMB and a dive computer, and may also include a spool, a reel, cutting device, torch, audible signaling device. The right equipment can make a major difference in an emergency. The safest divers never stop learning. Every course, every dive, and every experience adds knowledge and confidence. Whilst I'm not selling anyone any courses, it's important to consider continual educational training in buoyancy, navigation, deep diving, nitrox, rescue diving. Practice the skills that you've learned at every opportunity you get. The first and most important skill is buoyancy, and you should practice this on every dive you do. Training builds competence. Competence builds safety. So let's have a quick recap on the basics of diving safely. Plan your dive, stay within your limits, use the buddy system, monitor your air, watch your depth and NDL, control your buoyancy, ascend slowly, complete your safety stop, stay healthy, and continue learning. Safe diving isn't about luck. It's about good habits repeated on every dive. So, what safety habit do you think is most important? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos from Valkyrie Divers. Dive calm and dive safe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.